Imagine the most secure room in the most heavily fortified castle in all of medieval times. Now add another 100 guards and some moats. And maybe a dragon or two, the friendly kind, obviously. That's where you're about to be born, because apparently being royal means you cannot even enter the world without maximum security. But wait, let's address the elephant-sized crown in the room. This isn't your first attempt at being born into royalty. Your previous two incarnations didn't go so well. The first time, someone sneezed during the sacred royal birth ceremony and they had to start it all over again. Royal protocol is very strict about sneezing. The second time, well, let's just say there was an unfortunate mix-up involving a court gesture, 3 cats, and the royal birth announcement getting delivered to the wrong kingdom. Third time's a charm, right? So here you are, finally doing this properly. Born smack dab into the middle of the room, so secure that even the heir has to pass a background check. Mom's trying to cradle you while wearing the ceremonial armor of the queen, well, because tradition demands it, and even though it's ridiculously uncomfortable. And Dad's already commissioned 17 different paintings of your birth, each one featuring you doing increasingly impossible things like slaying dragons or signing peace treaties while still in your royal swaddling clothes. Welcome to life as a prince, where your baby rattle is made up of solid gold, completely useless as rattle by the way, but apparently regular toys are for peasants. And your first diaper change is recorded in the Kingdom official history book. The royal blood in your veins basically means you've got a target on your back before you can even sit up straight. Not exactly the cozy family welcome most kids get, but hey, at least you've got an entire kingdom ready to treat your every crying fit like it's a matter of national security. Growing up royal in medieval times isn't exactly what the fairy tales advertise. By age 4, you've got more titles than teeth and everyone keeps calling you "Yes, king," even though you still need help to cut your own meat. That kid hiding behind the curtains during your etiquette lessons, that's the cook's son. And he's about to become your only friend in this circus. Mainly because he is the only one who will tell you when your crown is on backwards. Knights and nobles parade through the castle daily, each trying to curry favor with the future nameless king. That's you, by the way. They haven't decided on your reign name yet, but they're already arguing about which number you will be. The weird history of your family dynasty is drilled into your head daily. And let me tell you, ancient history was wild. Apparently, your great-great-grandfather won the throne in the cheese-eating contest. Glorious. At least that's what the official records say. Your cook friend's grandmother though, she tells a different story involving 3 chickens and a missing shoe. Years and years pass and suddenly you're 12, juggling lessons in everything from how to look regal while eating soup to advanced royal techniques. Your sister, now a proper princess, glides through the castle making everything look easy while you're still trying to figure out how to sit on the throne without sliding off. The Christian prince from the neighboring kingdom visits and everybody expects you two to become instant best friends. Spoiler alert, he steals your favorite horse and blames it on the Vikings. Motherfucker. Let's just pause here and remember why we are all suffering through this royal circus. You're supposed to become the greatest king since, well, King Arthur. But at this point, even the sword on the stone would swipe left on you. Everything you've learned so far, from proper crown wearing technique and not getting poisoned at dinner, is supposedly preparing you for your destiny. But let's be real, right now, you would trade your whole royal family for one normal afternoon of not having people bow every time you sneeze. Life goes on, and the pressure only gets worse. The queen, your mom, but you're not supposed to call her that anymore, keeps arranging marriages with princesses that you've never met. Look at me, she says, gesturing to her perfect posture. I married your father without meeting him and only cried for the first, well, 3 years. Somehow, this isn't as comforting as she thinks it is. By your teens, you're deep in the royal life, dealing with everything from peasant revolts, they are low-key mad about the tax on air, to foreign diplomacy. Turns out that princess you accidentally insulted has a very large army. Remember all those boring lessons about country management? Suddenly they are relevant when half of your kingdom gets into a civil war over which direction the royal portrait should face. Your cook friend, now promoted to royal food taster, because apparently that's how you show appreciation in medieval times, helps you navigate the increasingly bizarre world of court politics. Together, you discover that running a kingdom is less about making grand decisions and more about preventing your advisors from starting a war over seating arrangements. Finally, the big day comes, your coronation. Years of training, studying ancient scrolls, and practicing your king face in the mirror have led to this moment. The crown comes down, probably giving you a concussion. Those things are fucking heavy. And suddenly, you're not just playing at being king anymore. You're actually responsible for thousands of lives. And that's when you realize why it sucks to be born as a king. Your royal guards won't let you go anywhere fun. Every meal might be poisoned, and apparently you're now married to someone you met 10 minutes ago for diplomatic reasons. The medieval times are rough, bro. The years roll by, and you discover that maintaining power is harder than getting it. Remember that time you practiced sword fighting as a kid? Now you've got real knights trying to prove themselves by challenging you to duels. That diplomatic training, now it's keeping your head attached while negotiating with rulers who collect other rulers' heads as hobby. By middle age, you're surrounded by plotters and schemers. Your own royal family is probably planning to replace you, except your sister. She's still laughing about dodging this job. The royal blood in your veins doesn't feel so special when everyone wants to spill it. The worst part? You can't even complain. Look at me. The portrait of your ancestor says from the wall, I ruled during the plague years and didn't even have a castle. Yeah, well, at least he didn't have to deal with Twitter ravens spreading fake news about his latest proclamation. In the end, you realize that being a king isn't about the power, the crown, or even the really fancy chair. It's about surviving long enough to pass this cursed job to your own heir, who's currently trying to convince the royal court that dragons would make excellent tax collectors. But hey, at least you're not a horse, right? Though sometimes watching your royal guards deal with yet another assassination attempt, you wonder if fighting wolves might have been easier than fighting your own relatives for the throne. Remember kids, next time you wish you were born into a royal family, think about the nameless king and his daily struggles with medieval times. Sometimes the best crown is no crown at all. Just ask his sister, who's living her best life on a beach somewhere, crown free and happy.